Hey, Ray here, and I wanted to make this quick video just to give you some more insight into how we're actually helping employer defense attorneys actually generate leads. In this particular case study, I wanted to share with you exactly how I helped one of our clients win 12 cases in just 31 days. I also wanted just to highlight a couple of some more information on just how maybe some of your competitors are advertising, what they're doing to win big, and how some of the other competitors are actually losing out a ton of money when it comes to actually marketing for these types of cases online. As you can see here, we have HoyerLaw.com. Their budget right now is about $32,000 a month in advertising. We have a particular website here that spends about $25,000 specifically for the employment cases, and then we have other firms like VZFirm.com, which spends about $1,500 a month. So I wanted to just kind of make this here. Now, again, this is not for everyone. We're looking specifically for dedicated employment attorneys. That includes employment for the employee side or the defense side. So let's dive right in and show you some proof. So I'm logged into one of our dashboards here where we keep track of all of the leads that we send to our clients. This one in particular, I just wanted to highlight just basically how we do this on a monthly basis. We send them the leads, whether it's a phone call that someone picks up the phone and call inquiring about a consultation, or they opt in and actually put in their information and someone at the law firm actually calls them. And just in this month alone, as you could see, we retain here, a couple of these pass, retain. Obviously, I blocked out some of the private data. You keep going here, retain. And mind you, these cases are average for the law firm, anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. So in that particular month, the law firm probably generated close to anywhere from $60,000 to $120,000 in revenue for that month. And this just continues to happen month in and month out, as you can see. So let's jump back on over to my presentation and continue with the presentation. Okay, great. So wanted to basically recap here what we're going to cover, why some of the employment attorney competitors are spending about $32K. Again, others are losing about $10,000 plus in their marketing, and they're pretty much stopping their marketing just because they haven't been able to figure this out, unfortunately, and how you can get some more employer defense cases the same day and not worrying about any kind of marketing, for example, like with SEO, search engine optimization, where those firms are promising you that they'll get you leads, but they're telling you that it's going to take a long time. And how to prevent good employer defense cases to run away from your other competitors. We're going to show you a little bit of insight into how we do that. And then how this channel that we advertise from is the perfect add-on or the replacement to any existing strategy that you have, and why you don't have to pay basically $33 a click like the rest of the market here. And then I'm also going to highlight how many more cases you could actually get in your area. All right, so hopefully you're ready. You're ready to dive in, and let's have some fun. And hopefully this is informative for you as well. Okay, so we wanted to highlight how Hoyer Law is actually spending roughly about $32,000 a month on their advertising. Mind you, they're going for both sides. They're going for employee side, and they're also representing businesses as well. And so we basically do some research here on one of our tools. Let me go show you exactly how we get this data. Okay, this is a tool that we use. It's called iSpionage. It's not 1,000% accurate, but it gives us a rough estimate as to what these particular law firm is actually doing. As you can see here, Hoyer Law is the website, and then it gives us the estimated budget here, which is anywhere from $11,000 to $32,000. Now, mind you, they're not going to be spending that kind of money if they're not winning cases. Here we could actually see some of the different keywords that they're actually going for: labor lawyer, San Francisco employment attorneys, and you can see some of the actual different ads that they're running. As well, you could see some of the other keywords. Now they're going after about 230 keywords, and in the next video I'll show you how that particularly works and how that actually brings cases over to you. But again, this is an estimate here of what we can see, but it gives us a lot of data as to what's happening in that particular area so that we can know that there's actually cases to be won in that particular section. So as you can see here, I'm just doing a basic Google search and just playing around with the different searches that are here. Google sometimes thinks that it's employment law, but particularly for yourself, you could see that obviously the first ad that comes up, it's California Employer Attorney Defense for Employers Only. So these are the kinds of ads that people would be clicking on that are relevant to you in your particular cases. Obviously, this person knows what they're doing here in the Los Angeles area, and they have a very, very well thought out ad here. But then some of these other ads here, these competitors, for example, CA Employment Law, right? I'm going ahead and I'm looking for employer law attorneys, and this particular advertiser here in this law firm, they're actually losing money because it's not totally relevant to what the person is looking for. So they're actually advertising here, but unfortunately they might be getting clicks that are not relevant to their particular law firm, and obviously that costs a lot of money when that happens. So we make sure that our attorneys, whatever cases that they're going for, whether that's employer defense or whether that is actually them going for employee side, totally two separate markets, obviously, for each law firm, and we want to make sure that the actual clicks that they're going for are actually going to be relevant. Because as you can see here, just giving you some data here, for example, I've looked up employment law attorney San Jose. This is Google's basically telling us that particularly for that particular click, we're anywhere from $33 to $34 per click. Now, none of our clients actually pay that. I'm going to show you exactly what our process is and how we actually get leads at the lowest cost, which allow our clients to actually grow systematically. So basically, Google determines the cost of what an advertiser is going to spend based on this formula here called Ad Rank, CPC, and quality score. Those three components basically determine how much someone's actually going to pay. Now, the way Google works is that they're trying to show the end user the most relevant keyword that they're searching for. If they continue to do that, then people will continue to use Google as their preferred search engine, right? And so Google wants to keep that in mind. And so when you're advertising, the idea is that you want to particularly target the end user by specifically putting in the certain keywords that they're looking for. And if you don't, then unfortunately Google starts to penalize you. So in this example here, advertiser number one, for example, they could be bidding for that particular spot at $2. Right, and if they do that and they actually have the actual keyword exactly of what people are looking for in the title of the actual advertiser, then Google is going to give them a high quality score. If they do that, then Google will reward them by giving them a lower cost per click. So when I showed you in the other slide, let's say the average cost is $33. Well, in this scenario, that person will be paying up to 6 times less than what the rest of the competition is paying for, versus someone at the bottom, for example, here at advertiser number 4, if they're not actually super relevant to what the user is looking for and someone clicks on it, Google actually, puts a premium on that because they're not serving the end user. And so sometimes you can pay up to 4 times more than what the average cost is. And so keeping this in mind, we have a strategy that systematically helps our clients lower their cost, which again helps our clients win because they're not paying the rest of the money that all of the other advertisers in the area and the law firms in the area are trying to do with their marketing. So one of the strategies that we use is actually starting to target more specific keywords. So people now are searching for 3, 4, maybe 10 words at a time. They're putting in phrases. I think a lot of people are now getting used to talking to Siri or talking searching their terms basically in sentences and phrases. And so what we want to do is we want to start to capture what these people are actually putting into Google, and over time our system gets even better within your particular market. I'll show you an example in another slide here where we start to basically identify what exactly people are typing in. But in this scenario here, for example, broad terms would be 1 to 2 keywords. Now those are super broad, they're not as relevant, and usually those are the most expensive keywords because everyone's trying to actually target those. And as you start to get even more specific, for example, in this scenario, we would use employment defense lawyer. That's a little bit more specific than just a random keyword or 2 keywords. And then it goes down another level where we have what's called long tail keywords, where someone's looking for employment defense lawyer San Francisco, or they're putting in full phrases in there. And once we identify those particular keywords within your market, we're able to then get leads pretty systematically at that point, again, with the lowest cost. So one of the important factors that actually drives the quality score up is what's called the CTR, or the click-through rate. So according to Google's chief economist, about 60% of the quality score is determined by the click-through rate. So the click-through rate basically is when you show someone an ad, what is the percentage of people that actually click on the ad? That is known as the click-through rate. And so the common practice that a lot of these advertisers are using, unfortunately with the example that I showed you here, is that they're grouping all of their keywords into a particular ad group. And what they're doing is then they're just saying, okay, anything that's kind of related to this, they're going to use one ad to actually show for that, like in that example that I showed you. But unfortunately, that is what 99% of the advertisers are doing, and it's just driving the cost up because it's not super relevant to the actual user, and it's not actually improving the click-through rate. Again, if someone is actually typing in that specific thing, whatever it is, whether it's a long phrase, whether they said, I am looking for the best employment attorney in San Francisco, and they type that exactly in, people like to actually click on what they see and what they are typing in. And so the more relevant that is, the better. And so a lot of the competition is just doing these common practices that are pretty old when it comes to marketing this, and it's not helping a lot of the businesses or law firms that hire some of these firms and then realize that they tried to do it and it didn't work. Well, unfortunately, it's just because they're using outdated practices. So the practice that we use that we found is basically what we call the 1% performance, or the 1% method. Basically what we do is that for each particular ad group, we create a specific ad that is super relevant to that end user. So if someone's looking for employment defense attorney in San Francisco, then we will create an ad that says looking for the best employment attorney in San Francisco, right? So it's super relevant, and we do that with every single search term that we have in the account. And so some of our accounts actually have hundreds of different ads that we're managing. But again, it helps the end user, it drives the click-through rate up for our clients, and of course keeps our costs down, which helps our clients win. So in this example here, I wanted just to show you one of the clients that we have here, just to kind of highlight. This one particularly is an employer defense attorney, and just in the last 3 years alone, we've managed over $88,000 worth of advertising, and so we have a lot of data that works in the area. One of the reasons why we're able to hit the ground running and not have a lot of guesswork when it comes to actually creating these leads for your firm is, again, because we have this data, so we know what works within the actual law firm, search terms that people are searching for. We know exactly what works in different areas. Let's say if it's in the employer side or the employment side, then we know exactly what works because we have the actual data that helps us kind of hit the ground running at that point. A lot of firms will take you on, and then there's like a waiting period where they're spending money, and usually they're trying to guess what this information is, but we have that data available. So in this particular example here, wanted to show you how many ads we have running. For example, close to 333 just for this particular client. Again, that's our systematic approach. It's something that if you move forward with this, you want to make sure that you have that system in place, because if you don't, then more than likely you're going to be wasting money, and then you're going to think that the system doesn't work or this channel doesn't work, when in fact it's actually producing leads, quality leads. Okay, so in this example, I wanted to show you exactly how we start to identify exactly what people are searching for within that particular market. Just for example, this data that we're showing you here is just for the last 3 months, and what we're constantly doing to refine our particular advertising is that once we see this data here, for example, these are the exact terms that people are searching for, right? So like, for example, labor law attorney for employers, right? So once we see exactly what those phrases are. We're then able to add them exactly to our ads. We create ads for them, and then we're able to then move forward to improve the actual lower the cost per click. If it's something that's not relevant to our client, for example, employee lawyer, then we actually exclude that there so that we don't actually waste any more money. And so over time, we actually get better and better results for our clients. As you can see here, there's lots of different terms here: employer defense attorney, Los Angeles, employer labor attorney, workman's comp for employers. These are people that are typing in lots of different things. There's even people in Spanish. So if your firm does work in Spanish, we can do that as well. How to fire an employee in California, things like that are super relevant, that are going to put your brand and your law firm in front of these people that are potential business owners that are going to possibly need an attorney or possibly retain one down the road. Again, so after we do that, here you see this tracking sheet that I have here. I've blocked out some of the other information, but this is just from one particular client. We keep this on a month-to-month basis, and each time that we see the cases that are being won, ones that are being passed, the other ones that need to be followed up on, we actually keep track of all of this, and you start to build your book of business, and also build your book of business for people that can possibly refer new cases to you as well. All right, so in this section, I actually wanted to share with you how one of our clients, which is an employer, defense attorney, what his experience was with working with our campaign.
Hi, this is John Fagerholm, and I just wanted to give a very special thank you to Legal Case Leads. I hired them about 3 years ago, and in the first year, our business jumped 100%. The second year, another 100%, and this year so far, we're at about 75% better than we did last year. We've grown considerably since I went with them. We started with just one associate, and now we're up to 4 plus 2 paralegals, and moving offices into double space because of the business. I just want to again say thank you very much. I really appreciate it, guys.
All right, hopefully you enjoyed that as well. And so basically our system is using Google and identifying people that are looking for cases in your particular area. We basically handle the whole system. We're writing all of the different ads. We're going through and making sure that the search terms are relevant to what people are searching for. We're identifying which geographical area people are going to be likely to actually click on the ads, and over time do that as well. We start to put in the long tail keywords into the ad copy as people are typing those things in from your target market. We're able to then collect that, customize that for your actual law firm. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of different keywords per different accounts that we're managing here, and we take care of everything and start to basically continue to optimize these particular campaigns, from the time of day that people are calling the law firm to day of the week. We're adjusting bids, and we're constantly adjusting the data. We're also fine-tuning the actual landing pages that we work with because we have a proven system. We keep our landing pages close, and we don't share them with the competition. We don't want them to copy what we're doing, but we actually, once we deploy these things, we've seen our conversion rates go up, which allow our clients to continue to have clients that they can potentially be talking to. We work on the landing page, make sure that the relevance of the landing page is working, and this again helps with the quality score, the speed. We handle all the tech stuff with the actual speed, the different platforms that the landing page is working on. So some people are searching on mobile devices, others are searching on computers. We basically make sure that the landing page looks perfect on all of those different devices, and then we're constantly optimizing that as well. So basically the way it works is that you would be either getting someone to call the law firm, inquiring about a consultation. At that point, your receptionist or whoever you have in place will get some basic information from them to determine whether or not you want to follow up with this person, pass on the person, or actually take them on and get a retainer. The other way is that we actually send leads over via email, and we can send those leads anywhere that you want to multiple people to get them notified, so that way they can promptly give a response back to the actual potential client. Now, how many more cases can you actually get? Looking from our data, what we see is that you can win anywhere from 5 to 10 cases per a 1 million population in a geographical area. So as you want to, you can basically do the math there. What we're seeing is 5 to 10 on average is the average caseload per this population. If you want to expand in other areas and possibly refer business other areas, we have some clients that are doing that as well. All right, so who am I? So again, I'm Ray Antonio. I'm the president of Legal Case Leads. I've been doing online marketing since about 2008. Started, basically consulting enterprise level businesses. And then at that point started to actually sell custom solutions to these enterprise businesses. And then as I started to get different clients, I started to basically niche down and realize that we had a lot of potential with the attorneys, specifically with employment law. As we started to actually collect all of this data, we decided to open up Legal Case Leads, and that allowed us to actually start reaching out to employer law firms and actually help them out. So basically, at the end of the day, what we're offering here is we're looking for an employer defense attorney in your area. That's why we reached out to you via LinkedIn. What we're looking for is someone that's looking to get more cases, that they're aggressive about it, and they're looking to grow. We know what works. I showed you in this video here exactly how we do that. And the way that we actually work is that we take on most of the risk, where we don't charge like other firms where they're charging you an advertising budget, plus they're offering some type of management service. Usually that's $2,000 to $3,000 in additional to your advertising budget. We basically take on all that risk, and we sell you the actual leads. And so you only pay for the leads that we generate. And if basically we don't deliver any leads, then we give you a money back guarantee. And if worst case scenario we don't do that, where we don't deliver any leads, we'll also send you this bottle glass holder here where you can actually drink some of your troubles away. Hopefully we won't have to send that to you, and hopefully we haven't had to do that with any of our clients yet. So if this is you and you actually are interested in learning how to do that, just reply back to this email and be happy to, go over the details of how it worked for you and the different pricing that we have for the actual lead. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and I also want to thank you for giving us an opportunity to earn your business. Thank you very much. See you on the next video.